and welcome back to the 96th episode of Good Bad Media Show. We watch terrible movies.
We can count.
You should too. I'm your host, Mr. Bryan Chilligo, joined as always, Mr. Kyle Hinton. Kyle, we just had people have been watching, we just released a mailbag episode that we filmed in September. I'm really good at keeping track of things, guys. But one of the movies that we received in that mailbag is a little film called Dancin.
It's on.
Welcome to the Florida Statewide Dance Contest Finals.
Go and do what you were born to do.
And boy, Kyle.
By the way, this film, let's get this out of the way, directed by one David Winters.
Yes.
Who is known in bad movie circles for space mutiny.
Yeah. Yeah, with Reb motherfucking Brown. Insert picture of us meeting Reb motherfucking Brown. He did like schlocky B movies in the 80s and 90s. And this is a schlocky B movie from the 2010s. This movie, not to spoil my final verdict, this is one of the better Good Bad movies we've done in a long fucking time, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no, it is glorious. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
I laughed so hard I cried like 4 times watching this fucking movie, and I was not prepared for that to be the case. It's a 2015 film, like you said, directed by David Winters, also starring in a small role David Winters, which we'll talk about when we get to his character. But before, as we roll right into the movie, second one, the opening credits pop up, and I was like, what is this font? What are we... Oh, no. Because it's this abrasive red, horrible, like, cheap... It's like almost Comic Sans, but not font. It's really bad.
I can't respect anybody who uses Comic Sans.
But you can respect somebody who uses Papyrus, because that's the world's classiest font.
This is where they said he is.
Well, after you.
And I love, did you notice?
Font for the civilized man.
Yeah. Papyrus. It's the thinking man's Comic Sans, Kyle. There's like an SNL skit about Papyrus, I think, too.
He just highlighted Avatar, he clicked the drop-down menu, and then he just randomly selected Papyrus, like a thoughtless child.
So also in the opening credits, we get the opening, we get the production company. And did you see what the production company was called?
No, it was in this one.
An East Side Story production. Oh. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but David Winters, also an actor and dancer.
And choreographer. Was
in West Side Story. And she's
oh man, what were the gangs in East Side Story? It was
the Sharks and the Jets.
Oh
the
boy,
Jets and
knife
the Sharks.
Knife fight, let's do it.
Yeah, I think there's a reference. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna find it. I think they make a reference to the West Side Story at least once in this movie. This movie is full of references to things, like kind of, but not really. Like there's lots of we'll talk about. There's like lots of Shakespeare references because they're very much. This movie is an attempt.
It's not even Shakespeare references. It's just a guy reciting Shakespeare.
Fair point.
Hi, I'm Jennifer August.
Good evening, Miss August.
That's amazing.
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
But this movie is an attempt at like a modern day like Shakespeare like comedy romance thing. Like that's what they're going for because it's like the Romeo and Juliet thing with like the two main characters.
Jennifer, I will not have you dating some kid who works as a dishwasher at my hotel.
Dad.
But boy, it's and the one guy, maybe my favorite character in the whole movie. His name's Russell something. but he's the captain in the film, and he's like the Greek chorus, like 100%. He just like shows up and like narrates like what's going on with her.
Which one?
Well, it looks to me like it's both of them. Now, ain't that a wonderful problem to have?
Guess that's one way to look at it.
I can't imagine any other way to look at it. But don't worry, you'll choose the right one. The captain has faith in you.
And like, it's very, anyways, they're going for a thing, but it didn't work. But it worked brilliantly at the same time.
The captain has faith in you. Yes, he does.
But we're introducing to our main characters, and they're all dancing. There's so much dancing, Kyle. This movie doesn't fail
Because it's dancing. It's dancing. It's on.
Someone's love's gonna knock me out, and this in the world tonight. I'm never gonna stop because I'm
It's the only thing that's on the whole
What more do
movie.
you need?
It's truly the only thing going on is dancing. We open up and there's like a shitty drone shot of some cheerleaders. Like it's a really terrible quality drone shot of some cheerleaders, and Whitney Carson is one of the cheerleaders, and her name is Jennifer?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer
August. Something, whatever. Yeah, August. And she's a cheerleader, and then we cut, and we're cutting back and forth between her dancing and doing different ballet and gymnastics and dancing and stuff, and then to our male lead, whose name is Ken.
It's just Ken. If you look at the credits, it's just
Ken. Just Ken. And he's a dishwasher who wants to dance.
somewhere, somehow. Someone's love's gonna knock me out, and this time.
Which, by the way, there's multiple points in the movie where they have professional dancers at this hotel.
Yeah.
And they have a guy whose entire thing is like taking out the trash, gotta dance. Washing dishes, gotta dance. Also working as housekeeping.
Gotta dance.
Gotta dance.
He does everything at this hotel. It makes no sense. But yeah, he's also a good dancer, and they also just have dancers. Why isn't he a It's very strange. But so we're introduced to him, and he's got a dream. He's a dishwasher, but he wants to dance. And I love this opening shot of him in the kitchen. The floor is so wet. I was like, boy, OSHA would have a field day with this fucking kitchen.
Bust his skull open.
Yeah. It's amazing. And then it's so much of this, the opening stuff, and a lot of parts throughout the movie definitely shot on a GoPro, like a cheap GoPro at times, like the stuff where like he's like opening like his locker, and you're seeing from inside the locker, and like the on the ground with the
and the opening number to this, the song that they use, and the songs that they use throughout the movie.
Songs are so good in this movie.
There's a rule in writing that you show, don't tell. No, this is not just like show. This is like if somebody came up and said, and like somebody like their love of their life just left them.
Yeah.
And it's like if somebody came up and said, "How are you feeling right now?"
Yeah.
I'm feeling very sad that this person just left me.
That's every song.
Hey, Mr. DJ, drop the beat and let it ride. Panama City, are you ready to party? It's a perfect day in paradise.
Every song, it's literally what is happening. The person sings it.
I don't wanna be stuck up in my room, 'cause there's so much I wanna do.
Except for one song, which has the strangest line in any fucking song that I've ever heard. Me and Katie had to rewind the movie 8 goddamn times to make sure we were hearing it right, and I'll get to it in a second. I have the time code because I was betting you didn't notice it, and I'm gonna pull it out and play it for you you can hear
My
it.
brain's gonna melt.
It's the weirdest line. I don't want to oversell it too much, but it's amazing. So then she has, I love the opening dance number. They do the weird mirror, like they're like in their bedroom dancing like at the same time looking at each other. And then she like shows up at school and looks right down the barrel of the camera and dances at you, and it's horrifying. Like, So in this universe, people just dance all the time.
Yeah.
It's weird because, so like in a musical, when people break into a song and dance, it's we understand what's going on. They're not actually, but I think in like that it's like a magical realism thing. It's like we're suspending, but like in this, I can't tell if like this is just like literally this is a universe where people just dance all the time. I think it is, as opposed to a musical where it's like that's not really like, it's hard to explain. I don't know how to explain the difference, but it feels different than a musical in a way that's really uncomfortable.
I have faith that she's gonna be my destiny. Ooh.
And I can't, because it's also like every kung fu movie where everybody knows how to do kung fu.
Everybody knows how to dance.
Everybody knows how to dance in this fucking movie.
Wow, so good.
Yeah, he's alright.
But I'm sure you can dance better.
Actually, I
And then I love, we also see the dishwasher taking out the trash, and this is where the first time we see Hal Sanders, who is David Winter's character, come walking down the steps behind him, and I was like, is that old man having a heart attack? Because
he grabbed his chest.
He's like, it's like,
which of course, rest in peace, David Winters.
Yeah, he did a couple years later, I think.
Who can say where the road goes, where the
Unfortunately. And then we get our first of Infinity Wipes.
Bye.
The wipes are awful in this.
There's an infinite amount of them. You could power the fucking universe with the amount of wipes in this
Circle
guy.
wipe. Circle wipe.
Hey, hey, man, city beaches forever. You never see oh, Panama City so pretty.
It's fucking wild. But then we're introduced to where she's going and why. We come down. She goes to dinner with her mom,
and they have butlers at this.
They're very rich, Kyle.
Yes, very rich.
And you know how you know they're very rich? Because they sit in thrones and they have an 8-foot candelabra on their dining room table. This movie is the like this scene in particular is like what somebody who doesn't know how to like get across in the language of film that somebody is rich. So they're like butlers, 8-foot candelabras, giant paintings. They're sitting in wooden
covered.
Food has cloches. They're sitting in chairs that are made like carved out of ancient wood. It's like what is happening? And then she's like, you got to go visit your dad for the summer or whatever. She's going, but I don't like Dad. He's stupid and he left us or whatever.
I don't want to spend my summer in some boring hotel with a father who hardly even knows me. I mean, I'd rather spend my summer here with my friends.
And so she lands in
Not
Florida.
even the good part of Florida. It's Panama City.
No, but Kyle, don't you want to go to Panama City now after watching this movie?
Panama City, you and me on the beach so pretty.
Because I'll tell you what, I want to go to fucking...
This film is 100%, the first half of this movie is nothing but a tourism video.
This moment right now, she lands in Panama City, and then we get a montage for the next 30 minutes of all the fun, cool things you can do in Panama City.
Oh, Panama City, the rhythm never sleeps. Oh, Panama City, come on, baby, dance with me.
Like when she's coming from the airport, she gets on like a cart, and there's a mime.
Why is the mime there?
Why is there a mime, Kyle?
Why is there a mime in this film?
The sun shines bright, dancing on the ocean. The sunset.
I don't know, man. I do not know. He just shows up at the airport and he's just like...
He also randomly shows up throughout the film.
Yeah. But then she gets on this cart with the mime and they're driving through Panama City and everybody's dancing. The like firefighters and the barbers and they're like, they go by a putt-putt place and the people just start dancing.
Now, if it was me, I would write this in as a joke and say, all right, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, she turns back around into the airport and it's like, I'm fucking... Let's not go to Panama City. It's a silly place. But so everybody's dancing, and there's so many wipes. We start getting wipes on wipes, like star wipes to spinning. It's
star wipe, and we're out.
Star wipe, and we're out. It's fucking crazy.
There are other wipes besides star wipes.
And then she meets the captain, who I mentioned earlier, but is the dancing bellboy concierge. I don't know what he is.
And what's your name?
They call me the captain.
But my favorite thing is that every scene he's in this movie has to end with him pop and locking like out of the scene.
Well, you enjoy yourself, my lady. I'll see you later.
Because that's his thing. He's like pop and locker. And so like he'll like say a line to her and then he'll like and like out of the side.
The captain has faith in you. Yes, he does.
Fucking amazing. It's so stupid and I love it so much.
Don't worry. She'll come around.
She gets into this hotel, which is called like the high. What is it? Do you remember what it's called?
Welcome to Panama City Beach and the Hit Parade Hotel.
It's got a weird name, but she gets there and the lobby is full of performers.
Wow. That is really difficult. Incredible. Amazing.
A guy is like doing Gone with the Wind.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Like a guy and a girl are like doing. Yes. He goes, frankly, I don't give a damn or whatever. And as Jennifer's walking by, I love they make a reference to Gone with the Wind, and then our main character, because the audience they expect is so stupid, goes, Gone with the Wind. That's my favorite movie.
That's great. Gone with the Wind, my favorite movie.
First off, whose favorite movie is Gone with the Wind?
Look, it's good. Incredibly boring and long.
Yeah, it's a fucking and she's like a 20. It's a weird favorite movie for you. Okay.
Hello. You must be Jennifer.
Yes, I am.
I'm Danny, the head bellboy here at the hotel.
So then she meets the head bellboy, Danny, who's the villain of this film, kind of. There's not really a villain, but he's kind of the villain of the film. And he shows up, and he's the head bellboy is how he's introduced. And I love this moment is he's talking to her, and she moves and looks past him, and Ken is dancing behind, and she spends like 5 minutes fucking the shit out of Ken in the middle of this lobby.
She needs a drool bucket.
You really should get going.
Yeah. While Danny is talking to her, she's just like, oh my God. And Danny's just like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, do you not notice that she's not okay?
Jennifer, can you hear me? Jennifer?
And then Gary Daniels shows up. She goes and meets her dad.
Jennifer?
Father?
And it's Gary Daniels of Capital Punishment fame.
We'll give him a new identity after he testifies against Nakata.
Everybody in this movie who dances is a pretty good dancer.
Yeah.
The dancing is fine, like seemingly. They all seem to do a pretty good job. Some of the choreography at certain parts is a little weird. So she's talking to Gary Daniels, and she's upset at him because, you know, he abandoned her and her mom. And he goes, his line about it, he's like, I guess I just got so caught up in the fight game.
I basically grew up without you.
Yeah. I guess I got so caught up in the fight game, becoming a champion.
Looks at the camera, I'm a champion. Please remember that I'm a champion.
Yeah.
The dialogue is fucking amazing throughout the film.
Come on in, I want to show you around. How's your kitty?
She's doing good.
Good. How was your flight?
It was was fine, thank you.
And then, like you said, this song kicks in as she's in her hotel room. The lyrics kick in as she's staring down at this like carnival going on. The music is, I don't want to be stuck up in my room.
I don't wanna be stuck up in my room, cause there's so much I wanna do. I need to take the chance. I know it won't be easy.
It's like, well, luckily you don't have to be because you're an adult. You can just go wherever you want.
You also are the owner's daughter.
Yeah.
You can kind of do
whatever.
anything.
Yeah. This is point. I was like, Kyle, we should really take a trip to Panama City. I don't know why, but I just really want to go.
You know, they have ice cream places that are with giant killer whales as the entrance.
Yeah. And then while you're there, chances are you'll get in an ice cream fight like a normal human being.
Everybody gets thrown out.
Yeah. And then as she's walking around town, she looks at a billboard, and it's just a billboard for a real place that exists in real life, which is the La Vela Club or whatever. And then she goes there and she meets up with Handsome Dancer again, who's at this club dancing it up and impressing everybody. And then they have a moment together.
To get dressed up to share this love, so tell the world I'm coming. Come on, come on, don't stop, cause it's hot in the spot tonight, yeah. Oh.
She watches him dance, and I love this moment's hilarious. She watches him dance, and then he like leaves to go to the bar to get a drink, and she starts clapping right as he finishes, and then she walks off camera. And then as she walks up to the bar, she's still clapping. And I like to imagine she just walked the whole way, like, after him.
That was really good.
Hey!
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 It's fucking great.
I'm Jennifer August. I saw you earlier at the Hit Parade Hotel lobby.
Yeah, I saw you too. I'm Ken.
Nice to meet you, Ken.
The acting in this scene's fantastic, but she's like, how long have you been dancing? And he's like, 5 years. She's like, that's the same as me.
So how long have you been dancing?
About 5 years.
Really? That's the same as me.
You're a dancer?
Kind of.
We've both been dancing for 5 years. And then they start dancing together, and my favorite moment in this scene is that Danny the bellboy shows up. And so they're...
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, okay, A, why is he here? Also, B, why is he like...
He's staring daggers from outside. You're doing it perfect. I was like, oh, he's gonna serial kill them. he's a serial killer, 100%. No, he's just angry because he's got to report her to her dad because she's not supposed to be hanging out with that boy from the wrong side of the tracks or whatever.
And there's nothing about Ken that is like, sure, maybe if he had like friends who were like in with gangs or whatever, that would make more sense.
He just works at the hotel. Yeah, but that's not good enough. It's all about class, Kyle. He's not high class enough for her.
Jennifer, I will not have you dating some kid who works as a dishwasher at my hotel.
Look, I'm sorry I couldn't give you everything you needed. I'm just a poor dishwasher who can only afford shirts that are easily terrible.
Yeah. And then we end up at the fair. They're at the fair now. Somebody says, why do you dance? And they say, it's my life.
So why do you dance?
It's my life.
This movie is a straight up... it's just cliche after cliche.
Yes.
My favorite thing, you see those like jokes on the internet where somebody's like, I had an artificial intelligence analyze every Hallmark movie and then write. This movie is that for dance movies.
Exactly that.
And then they made the movie. The dialogue.
There's so many parts because it's unbelievable. Like, this is in every fucking dance movie ever made. That since the turn of the millennia.
Yeah.
Is why do we dance? Because it's our way of showing expression for something deeper than ourselves.
This is about dancing. Dance comes from the heart. Now you just get out there and dance your heart out, and everything else will take care of itself. you go and do what you were born to do.
It's like, oh my fucking God.
And I love it. He's like talking about how there's this big contest coming up, and he's like, this next dance contest, it's bigger than anything.
This next dance contest, it's bigger than anything. If I can win it, then just maybe, I'll feel like I can be somebody.
Well, I think you're somebody right now.
It's like, it's just cliche after cliche. I love it so much.
You're sweet.
He drives her back to his hotel on his moped.
Yes. I saw that and I was like, good Lord, give him some sort of bad boy appeal, period. Like, no, motorcycle, no, moped.
Well, they wanted it to be a motorcycle, but the guy couldn't get him right out.
I guarantee you couldn't start clutching.
And the insurance and shit for having that kid ride a motorcycle versus just putting him on a 49cc moped or whatever was, yeah.
Thanks for tonight, Ken. I had a really nice time.
Yeah, me too.
So, when will I see you again?
I have to be back here in 5 hours doing dishes.
And I love too that when he gets back, when Ken gets back and drops her off, the head bellboy Danny comes out and just starts yelling at Ken, and I'm like,
Ken! You're late, Ken? Again.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I had some trouble with my scooter.
Really? I think you had some trouble with your brain.
you're a bellboy. Are you allowed to just yell at other employees? Where are you on the totem pole as head bellboy? Like, apparently pretty high, because he just starts yelling at him.
I was at the club last night, and I saw you dancing with the boss's daughter. What were you thinking, huh?
We're just dancing.
Really? Why don't you dance yourself up to Mr. Sanders' suite and make his bed?
So he goes to clean Mr. Sanders' room, and I thought Mr. Sanders was gonna be dead because he like knocks on the door. He's like, Mr. Sanders?
It's like, oh, he did have a heart attack.
Yeah, that's what I literally thought. I was like, oh wait, no, that's because he needs to be in the movie later. And he tells them that he's not anybody's father anymore, which, you know.
So make my bed and then get out of here.
K-Pops.
What you call me? Don't you ever call me Pops again. I'm not your father. I'm nobody's father. Not anymore. You understand that?
Okay.
Was this where we get the helicopter explosion, or is that later?
That's later. That's later. That's a little bit later. We're almost there. We're setting the kernels to get to the helicopter explosion later, because we do see at this point his picture of
his son.
We don't know it's his son at the time, but yeah, his son and a helicopter.
Yeah.
Which we'll figure out. And this is why he says, I'm not anybody's father anymore.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
So this whole time I've been trying to figure out who this main girl, Whitney Carson, looks like. Mm-hmm. I was like, God, she looks familiar. And so, right, before I reveal who I figured out who she kind of looks like, is I want you, if you're watching this at home with a friend or your loved one, I want you to turn and look at each other. So when I say this name, you can see if there's any recognition on their faces. She kind of looks like Mia Malkova. Did they know who it was? Nice. Kyle didn't. Fantastic.
No.
You just learned something about each other, though. Congratulations. And then we get a Panama City fun montage. Kyle's going to do some quick Googling. Make sure your safe search is on.
Is this like, oh God, is this a porn actress? Yeah. Okay, I'm done. And put on incognito.
When they go to diners and they're skating, and everybody skates in this town as well. I don't know if you noticed this, like all the time there's like waiters on skates and people going down the sidewalk on skates. And then there's an ice cream fight, like I've said, which is fantastic. And then she goes back and meets up with her Gary Daniels.
So, what have you been up to? Where have you been?
I've been around, just enjoying this wonderful city of yours.
How do you like my little hotel?
It's amazing.
He makes her go out on a date with Danny, the head bellhop.
Somebody should show you around the hot spots of Panama City Beach. So, with that in mind, I've arranged a little dinner date for you tonight with our head bellboy, Danny. I think the two of you will get along.
And I love, my favorite thing about that moment is she walks up to Danny the bellhop and says,
Listen, my dad's making me go out with you tonight, and so I'm gonna do it. But don't expect me to have a good time, okay?
Fatality.
And then a dance party breaks out in the middle of the hotel, and I only have to talk about this scene because my favorite extra bit actor in the whole movie is in this moment. There's a guy, so they're like in the lobby, and like these people start dancing.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Whoa, what's going on over there?" And they go over to watch, and they're all dancing. And there's this one guy, this old guy in a striped shirt, white hair, who is fucking loving it, Kyle. He is living for this moment. He is dancing. And they cut back to him. At one point, he's doing jazz hands. He's just a guy in the crowd. Hold on, I gotta see if I can find this moment. He shows up like 4 times, and I could not keep my eyes off him. He stole the fucking show for me. It was the best. It was just incredible. He's by. I gotta point him out to you though, so I gotta be able to see him. He's just in the crowd behind that guy.
Oh my god!
Wait. Every time we come back, he is more into it. He is just. He's
oh my god!
I love that guy. He's in like 4 clips, but every time he's just fucking. He's eating it up.
You just coming from a golf course with.
I know, it's amazing. I love that guy so much.
Oh my god!
He's my favorite. He's my favorite in the whole. I think that's it. I don't know if he shows up.
Oh damn!
I love him. Oh no, there was the jazz hands shit.
God damn it, Bryan!
Hold on. Right at like 27, it'll come up. There's a moment. He's just doing jazz hands. It's like. Here it comes. I love him so much. He's so funny. Okay, anyways. And then everybody else starts joining in at that dance party. It's great. And then the captain shows up, and he's like, "Oh, they both like you, huh?" And she's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Don't worry, you'll pick the right one." And then he pop and locks out of the scene. We find out the redhead. We're introduced to the redhead, who's the other villain, whose name is Shotzi.
Shotzi.
That's a normal human name to have. Shotzi. Katie was like, I knew one Shotzi in my life. I was like, oh, really? I've never known any. She goes, it was a cat. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, that's Shotzi, my dance partner.
She's really a great dancer. Sexy, too.
Yeah, she is.
And then the scene, this is where he confesses how much he likes her. It's the most awkward, drawn-out fucking scene in this movie. They're still leaning against a tree, and he's like 2 inches from her face.
You know what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
And he's like, I kind of like you.
I like you.
And then she just stares at him. And then he stares back. And she's like, yeah, I kind of like you too.
So, what about you?
What about me?
You know what?
I like you too.
And then the camera just hangs there forever.
So, what do we do now?
I'm not really sure.
The scene goes, it's fucking wild.
Ken!
Hey, Jennifer.
Sorry to interrupt you guys, but Ken, we've got some rehearsing to do if we're gonna win that dance contest.
Then we get some more dancing, obviously. This is pretty good. This is where we see the redhead and Ken dancing, and like, yeah, they're pretty good dancers. They got good energy. They know what they're doing. They're pretty good. And Gary Daniels bought Jennifer a dress for her date, he goes, I got something for you, and then he just opens it for her like a fucking psycho.
I got you something. I was thinking maybe you could wear it on your date with Danny tonight. It's beautiful, huh?
She has to go out on the date with Danny tonight, and she goes to tell Ken that she has to go on this date. And my favorite thing is she goes there, and she walks up to him and he goes, My father's making me go out on a date with Danny tonight. And Ken turns to her and goes, you're going out with Danny? Why?
My father's making me go out with Danny tonight.
You're going out with Danny? Why?
I just told
literally just said my father's, and he fucking loses his mind over it.
I have to. My father insists.
Well, that's just great. You have a nice time.
Ken, don't be that way.
But now he's so upset. And my favorite thing, too, that I forgot to set this up. So he was at the dance studio with Shotzi. Ken was. He gets upset about their dancing. So he goes, I got to get out of here for a minute. And he leaves.
And the greatest thing ever. Okay.
No, hold on. Not that part yet. He leaves the the dance studio.
Anyway, I have to get back to the kitchen and finish the dishes.
And then the next scene is him washing dishes in... And this is when
she walks
up. So he left dance studio to go wash dishes for 5 minutes, and then he comes back to the dance studio and was like, all right, I'm better. Let's do this.
Don't be that way. Ken, please.
Let's continue.
And I'm like, wait, you went to watch what is okay, fantastic. But then this is it. This is the moment that sold the movie for me in fucking entirely. He's so mad now he can't.
I'm out of here.
Ken.
He's got to go. He's got to get it out. And the only way he can do it is through the thing that connects his spirit. It's dance.
Angry dance montage.
Rage dance. Straight.
Rage dance.
I can't convince myself that you're my biggest mistake.
Straight out of Footloose.
It is the best fucking thing in this whole movie. This next 10 minutes of this movie will change your fucking life. I am not even kidding. I was lightheaded and crying at the end of this next 10 minutes. It was the funniest fucking thing. So he's dancing around, he's like flipping off handrails, kicks every goddamn trash can he sees.
He also, there's a bench like right outside the dance studio. There's two of them. Now he's got to pick one of them to kick. One of them is like probably steel. Bolted, yeah. Made of steel and wood.
Yeah.
The other one is plastic and goes about 15 feet.
He kicks it and it goes, it just skitters across the sidewalk. And then he starts punching the wall. He's like, ah. But then he's like going down the boardwalk or whatever, and he's like flipping off handrails,
spins and stuff.
He's doing angry spins, and he's like falling over, and he literally every trash can. This man fucking hates trash cans. He's got to kick them all over. And he starts throwing chairs in the pool.
He also is like, he rips his shirt, and then I look at that and I'm like, no, he can barely afford those shirts. Yeah. Why is he?
Yeah. And then we're interspersing between this anger rage dance to random shots of Mr. Sanders sleeping. Hal Sanders is just in his hotel room sleeping, and I was like, what is going on here? But then this is the moment, Kyle. Holy fucking shit! Our guy starts spinning. Mm. This cut is Kyle. This cut. He's anger dancing. He starts doing spins, and we hard match cut to helicopter rotor blades. Of a helicopter helicopter that is in the nightmare of Hal Sanders.
Yes.
And the helicopter explodes.
It explodes for no reason that we are aware of.
It just explodes. I guess somebody shot it with a missile or something. It explodes and he wakes up from his nightmare. It's incredible. And then we cut back to Ken and he's still anger dancing and he goes over to the pool shower and turns it on himself. He's like,
right here, all I see is nothing. Ever since you disappeared, living without you, girl, is driving me insane. All I feel is anger every time I hear your name.
He kicks another chair and throws it into the pool. And then this moment, Mr. Sanders comes out. And I was not prepared for this. I was already losing my mind. I was already losing my mind. And he comes out and he goes, "You blew it, kid."
You blew it, kid.
What are you talking about? Blew what?
It was all good up until the end where you threw the chair in the water. What was that all about?
The dance number. You were looking great till you threw the chair in the pool. That's when you blew it.
What was that all about? And he's like, I was like, what? And he goes, this moment, I was so ill prepared. Ken goes, "Psh, what do you know about dancing?"
What do you know about dancing? You don't know anything about dancing.
What do I know about dancing? This.
Fucking goes into a routine.
Dancing is my life. You don't know a single thing about dancing.
Oh, no?
It's this old man just like, like it's the fucking funniest thing I've seen.
And by the way, Ken is blown away by this. He's like, "Whoa!"
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Oh my God! And my favorite moment about this is that he gets done dancing and then he looks down at his hands like, "Oh, what have I done?" It's like the scene in a martial arts movie where like the old master who's in retirement because one day a long time ago he accidentally killed somebody in the ring has a moment where he like accidentally fights somebody and like hurts him and then he looks at his hands like, "No, I promised myself I'd never do this again."
Do you think his dancing accidentally killed his son?
He danced a missile into that helicopter. I don't know. But he like looks down like, "Oh no, what have I done?" It's fucking incredible.
Whoa.
And then he says, "Forget you ever saw that kid."
Forget it.
Hey. Where'd you learn that?
Forget you ever saw it, kid. Just forget you ever saw that.
Forget you ever saw that. And at this moment, I paused the movie because I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. He says, "Forget you ever said that, kid." And then and the thing that makes this even better is this whole time I took like 2 minutes to compose myself and stop laughing. And I hit play, and the kid, Ken, goes,
"He must have been a dancer."
What a brilliant observation! What a fucking brilliant observation! He must have been a dancer.
Not to discredit dishwashers, but there's probably a reason he's a dishwasher.
He must have been a dancer.
Where'd you learn that?
Forget you ever saw it, kid. Just forget you ever saw that.
He must have been a dancer.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
Really working on that 8th grade education.
Oh my God, I cannot stress enough how hard I laughed at that sequence. Is the hardest I've laughed at one of these movies maybe ever. I was dying.
That is the best moment to have possibly paused and then come back.
That was the thing. I was so ill prepared. I had just regained my composure, and then I hit play, and he's like,
"He must have been a dancer."
And I was gone again. I fucking lost it again. And it's like took me another 5 minutes to stop crying and be able to breathe again, so that I could continue watching the fucking movie. Oh.
You don't know a single thing about dancing.
Oh no?
Oh, then we get the shadow dancing scene, and the song is singing "Like an Evening Shadow."
But you're still still there, like an evening shadow.
Because, of course.
Like an evening shadow.
And then Danny tells Ken to learn his place and calls him boy.
Learn your place, boy, and stay in it.
Which don't do that.
You'll be a lot better off if you do. And now, I'm gonna go to breakfast with Jennifer poolside.
But Danny brings her breakfast the next morning, and I love she has a savage line. She's like, "What about how our date went made you think I'd want to eat breakfast?"
I was hoping you wouldn't mind if I joined you.
What part of our date last night made you think that I would want to have breakfast with you?
He goes, "But I gotta talk to you about something. Dancing."
But I'd like to talk to you about something. It has to do with dancing.
Dancing?
And she's like, I'm listening. And so they're going to be dance partners now because Ken is partners with Shotzi. So he needs a dance partner. So Jennifer, and Danny can be dance partners for the big competition coming up, and then they can win.
So, what do you say? Partners?
Dance partners.
And then we get the random machine because I think it was written into Gary Daniels' contract that at some point
we need to see him fighting.
He has to be shirtless and he has to be punching something, Kyle.
Which, by the way, this man's form and physique is flawless for somebody in his mid-50s.
Yeah, he's not a young man anymore, and he is shredded still and can still punch a bag real hard, I would assume. At least it looks like. Yeah. Then Ken and Jennifer have a confrontation in the kitchen.
What are you doing here? Slumming?
Because she's gonna dance with Danny, and he's very upset about this.
Which, by the way, okay, so he from the hotel owner, he's got the ire of the hotel owner just because he's the whole daughter thing.
Yeah.
So you would think like thinks he's skating on thin ice. He was late for work that one day. He's like, I can't do too much. I got to make sure that I keep my job.
Yeah.
He ends this scene in this argument by breaking a plate.
And to save you the trouble of moving on, I'll leave.
You know what? Don't bother coming back.
I won't.
Good.
Good.
I was like, dude, you are not helping your cause right now.
And you would just have to clean that up now because you're the guy who does that. So, yeah, he shatters a plate. But I love she's so upset at him. She throws his 50-cent, toy jewelry thing he bought her at a parking lot jewelry store pop-up tent earlier in the movie. I don't even know. But he bought her this little, heart locket thing, which don't buy heart jewelry for women. They don't. That's a terrible idea.
That's the inspiration behind my Open Hearts collection at Kay Jewelers. I worked with Kay because as the #1 jewelry store in America, they've brought more hearts together than, well, just about anyone.
Just life pro tip. But, in general. But she's like, and she throws it on the ground, so now they're done. They're broken up.
Yeah, that's it. Move on. And you can keep this.
Things are rough, Kyle. This is the real second act low point we've hit here.
I'll find someone who can buy me a real one.
And I love this again. The captain, a phenomenal character. She's leaving the hotel, and he says to her, "He got to give her a little pick me up. He's got to do his Greek chorus job." He walks up to her and he goes, "Look, it's always darkest before the dawn."
May I offer a few words of wisdom, Miss Jennifer?
Of course.
It's always darkest before the dawn.
And she goes, "Oh, okay, thanks."
What?
And then she walks away, and I cannot stress enough that this sentence I'm about to say is true. He pop-in locks into a sad, introspective pose.
I sure hope you're right, Captain.
He's like, oh, it's fucking incredible. It's so fucking amazing. And then she walks around town and remembers all the good times that they had.
Which is just another excuse for them to be like,
show all the
here's Panama City.
Yeah. And then a mime pops out from behind a pillar. And he's sad, Kyle. He's got tears painted on his fucking face. And I love she's having all these memories. I was like, that was like yesterday, wasn't it? Like, okay.
It's young love. It goes fast, all right?
And then she's sad, but there's a street party. Because of course there is.
She falls asleep on this bench on the street, and then it's just and like a band starts and people are dancing in the street. It's like
what is going on?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
But she joins in. They like, hey, come join our choreographed street party dance. And she starts dancing with them. And this scene is literally nothing. It doesn't do anything. I guess it's to remind her of her love of dance. I don't know like what narratively is the purpose of this scene, other than they just wanted a big dance number because they thought the movie was getting a little boring. I will say this movie, I was not bored ever. It's fucking crazy nonsense the whole time. And then I love there's a little moment where Ken looks up Hal Sanders' old dancing videos, and he was like watching them on his laptop, and he's blown away. And the guy's dancing like a normal, like he's an okay dancer.
That's the old guy from upstairs. Hal Sanders, when he was younger.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's amazing.
Like it's nothing incredible. It's not like the first time he's like watching Michael Jackson do the moonwalk. It's just like he's just watching, but he's losing his mind over it. And I was like, maybe he's not amazed by his dancing. Maybe he's just amazed that old people used to be young once. Like that's blowing his fucking mind.
I mean, he was blown away. It's like, he must have been a dancer.
Yeah.
He must have been a dancer.
Then they rip off this scene from Romeo plus Juliet where they're looking through the fish tank. Yeah. Ken confronts Mr. Sanders about being a dancer. He's like, you were a dancer. He goes to his yacht. He's like, you were a dancer?
We need to talk.
Get off Mr. August's boat, boy. The hotel staff are not allowed on here.
I know who you are. You were a famous dancer.
He goes, I don't do it anymore, kid, because my son died.
I danced a missile
right into his helicopter. And I swore on that day I'd never put my dancing shoes on again.
You look at this picture all the time. It's probably somebody who is really close to you. Like a brother. Or a son.
It was my son, okay? But he's dead, and nothing's ever gonna bring him back.
And he basically wants him to choreograph his dance. Ken's like, you gotta help me train for this big dance contest. You're the best. You were the best. And he's like, okay. He says no. He's like, I won't do it.
Which, by the way, this dance contest is like in 2 days or something
tomorrow
like that.
Or something. But he's like, no, I won't do it. And then it cuts, and then he's there helping them do it. And I was like, what?
I just really need your help with this. So please help me, Mr. Sanders.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But then it cuts up, and he's in his hotel getting his feet, getting a pedicure or whatever. And the scene's not important, but she walks in and she's talking to him, and she wants him to go. Jennifer wants him to go to her dance contest or whatever. He's like, I can't. I got a business meeting.
They only got me for like a day, so I can't.
Yeah.
I can only film for like 2 days.
Yeah. But I don't know if you noticed this. It's incredible. So there's a big window behind him, and you can see Panama City Beach and the ocean out behind. But it's clearly not. They had to green screen and composite that in. And there's a moment, Kyle.
Was it not keyed?
Right as the camera cuts from the shot with the beach in the window to her, there's like 2 frames where the video of the beach ended, but the shot was still up, so you just see the green screen in the
God,
window.
I didn't see this.
Okay, bye, kiddo.
I noticed it and backed it up. I was like, wait a second, did I just see? Absolutely did. I'll be able to put the single frame in. It is just the green screen in the window. They didn't let the video run long enough.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bull fucking shit! Don't ever do that again.
Take it, baby. What the fuck? No!
I can compress time. Dark matter. Dark energy. Quantum physics.
Hal has one of the best lines in any movie ever. You can play baseball.
This is such a bad
You can
line.
play tennis. You can even play football.
But you can't play dance.
You can play baseball. You can play tennis. You can even play football. But you can't play dance.
You can't play dance. What does that even mean? Okay.
It's a shame, Ken. It's really a shame. Because you're a good dancer. You could be great. Really great. A real contender.
So then Shotzi does a nice thing. She tells Ken that, hey, Jennifer loves you. You should go be with him. We shouldn't dance together. And lets him leave. She lets him go.
You're in love with her.
Yeah. I am. I'm really sorry, Shotzi.
You have to go get her.
And this is the moment, Kyle, where he's running to go get her. And the music starts playing. I need to prepare you for this line in this song, Kyle. This is the one I was talking about earlier. Make sure the camera's
Running
still
through
working.
the docks to find my girl.
If only it made so much sense. It does do that a little bit. It says, I would run 500 miles just to see you, or something like that. And then, on my life, Katie and I rewound this and listened to it 8,000 times. I'm going to play it for you and see if you hear what I hear. And then, because I don't want to prime you, but there's no way that's not what this line says in this movie, and it makes no sense. I got to figure out where my time code. I took a picture of it last night so I could see the... It is at 1:06:07 roughly. You got to go a few seconds before that if you're watching it. So have a copy of it somewhere. There we go. Listen. Run 500 miles just to prove I love you. What did you hear, Kyle?
I would even try dating a lesbian?
Being a lesbian.
Being a lesbian?
I would even... What does that mean, Kyle? Kyle, what the fuck does that mean? Listen to I'm gonna play that one more time. I'm gonna play that one more fucking time. I would run 500... Hold on.
You might just be the coolest girl I've ever known.
Dialogue is so good in this movie. Just go. Here we go. One more time.
Thanks.
Every night. What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Why is that in the song? What is that song? No, what? That was the other time where after we was laughing so.
You know what we need to do? We need to go through the credits and figure out who like wrote that song.
Yo! Yeah, and feel like, what is this? What is happening?
Scared to be alone. Run 500 miles to prove I love you. You're scared to be alone. I'd hold you in my arms till my final day.
I would run 500 miles just to show I love you. I would even try being a lesbian. What? What?
I'd run 500 miles to prove I love you. I'd hold you in my arms till my final day.
So he meets up with her and he gives her back the necklace that she threw away, and then they have a kiss and they do like a 360 bad boys camera spin.
Kiss already.
Somewhere out there, my heart's beating for me.
And it's like they clearly, I think, for this shot rented a more expensive camera. I don't know if you noticed this. This shot looks different than like most of the rest of the movie.
Is the contrast significantly
like better? Yeah. The dynamic range on the shot is way better, and it looks completely different than like the rest of the movie. They're like, well, this is a money shot, the 360 camera spin kiss. We gotta get it.
Aww, isn't that sweet?
Yeah, sweet.
But then Shotzi finally finds her soulmate, because her and Danny, they're perfect for each other. They're both kind of awful, and now they can be together. Yeah, great.
Just rehearsing before Jennifer gets here.
Oh, you don't know?
Know what?
Well, her and Ken kind of got back together, and I heard she's dancing with him in the contest.
That figures. Jeez.
And then so now it's time to train, because it's almost time for the contest. There's just one little scene I got to talk about where this movie rips off Lord of the Rings, and I was like, oh, please, fuck. Are you kidding me?
Late. I am not late. I arrived just when I wanted to.
I was like, what is he, a fucking wizard?
Yeah, I was like, fuck you. All right.
5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, good lead.
Captain's the host. Time for the dance competition. Captain's the host of the dance competition because of course
just a quick thing. This is earlier in the film when he was helping out the other two. It's really, really easy to get on his good side. Just buy him a Reuben.
Don't look at me like that. I said I could use some lunch, so I'm having my lunch. I didn't say you're getting any.
Yeah, but he fucking smashes that sandwich. I bet that he made them sit and record his whole lunch. He's like, I'm eating this whole sandwich, and we're putting it all in the movie.
That's good. Yeah, you guys keep exercising. Very good for young people. Very good. Want a pickle?
So it's time for the dance contest, and the biggest crime of this movie is that they actually got some pretty talented dancers, and they can't act, but they got pretty talented dancers, and then they shoot the dance scenes so boring. It's so boring. There's like 4 cameras from different angles. It's really flat. There's no dynamic. There's the only thing they thought that was like cool and interesting that they did, which is not. It's just stupid. Is they have a plexi floor that they shoot through sometimes. Yeah.
It would have been nice because the background is since it's nothing but it's like black star pattern or whatever. Yeah. It is so flat. It's so boring. Just give it a little bit of depth.
Hit some lights on there.
Exactly.
Something. God, and do anything with the camera other than just like have them set up and shot. It's like you're watching like a televised like dance event, not like a movie.
They had one interesting shot through the whole thing, which was the dude playing the dog dancing.
Yeah.
Where they shoot from beneath.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah. And then the crowd shots are clearly from a different event.
Dance contest finals. But before we meet our dancers tonight.
Yeah, I watched that and I was like, why do I have a sneaking suspicion that this is from like some sort of concert?
Yeah, it's absolutely from some sort of concert or some sort of like spring break event or something.
I'm gonna give you guys a little taste of what you're gonna see. Y'all ready? All right.
Because
and it's the compression of the video is so bad right there that like all the contrast is like.
Yeah.
It's worse than the fucking GoPro they shot half this on.
Yeah. And my favorite thing too is that one of the reasons that makes it very clear that this isn't the dance competition crowd that we're watching is because there's one shot, it goes to the crowd. It's like this couple is doing, I think it's like the first couple or whatever that are like the nerd and the pretty girl. I don't know what their thing is, but like, and they're dancing, and then it cuts to a shot of the crowd, and there's a guy shirtless overweight white guy with a straw hat on, losing his goddamn mind about this dance competition. And I was like, that is 100% not what that guy is fired up about.
They were at a Tampa Bay Lightning game.
Yeah, there was something else going on stage that this guy's psyched about, but he is not watching these two nerds dance. Like, that is not what he's all fired up about. Okay.
Now let's hear it for our next finalists, Pauline and Brandon.
We watched 2 whole dance sequences
before we even get like the bad guys and then the good guys.
Yeah, we watched 2. We don't know these people. They're just and it's one thing, sure, have that moment so that you show the other company.
Well,
but
you
like,
gotta pad out that time.
We're real because it's like montage that. We just need a little. No, we watched the whole fucking routine for both of these people. And then I found out. I looked up Club La Vela. This place where this takes place is the largest nightclub in the country according to their website.
Oh, I was waiting to talk about this. There's a part where they had like some sort of dance or some sort of dancing in the hotel.
Yeah.
They had like some sort of dance night or something like that. Or maybe it was earlier in the club. Regardless.
Doesn't matter.
They had a guy there whose name was like DJ Vladimir or something like that. I looked it up and he does like wedding stuff. And so like you can go and book him just off this right now.
I'm getting married in October.
Oh shit.
Look at DJ whatever the guy's name is to come to
he
my
does
wedding.
He does coast to coast. So you might be able to
fucking A. I'm gonna write him up. Hey guy, this is advertising for you. I'm putting you in. Look, shouting your name to all 17,000 of our subscribers.
And then the Stretch Hummer also, since they were like,
I saw. Yeah, it had the rental info. This is like Meltdown. We could do the Panama City, the Dancin' It's On tour. We could. If we ever have a good, bad, or bad retreat, we're either going to Bay City, Michigan, or we're going to Panama City, Florida, and we're doing all of the things from this movie. And I love too on their website when you go to Club La Vela, it says they've been closed due to Hurricane Michael, but that hit in 2018.
Yeah,
their website still says that. I don't know.
Don't care what you think, gonna live my life, yeah. Oh, 'cause you can't stop me.
So we finally get to characters we know. Danny and Shotzi dance it up. They dance. It's on. Their choreography is terrible. Their choreography sucks. In this particular scene.
I gotta look bad in comparison.
I guess that's what it is, but I'm like watching, I'm like, man, this is not, I mean.
And then Ken, being the brilliant scholar that he is, they're just too good.
They're too good.
We can't win.
We can't win.
Wow. They're good.
Yeah, they really are.
We're not gonna win.
And then it's so fucking stupid. And so he's like, oh, we can't win. And they're like, well, you don't have to win. It's not about winning, Kyle.
We're not gonna win, so what's the point of being here?
The point is being here. Don't you get it?
It's about dancing.
This is not about winning or losing. This is about dancing.
It's about it's on and like it's whatever.
Dance comes from the heart. Now you just get out there and dance your heart out, and everything else will take care of itself. You go and do what you were born to do.
And then he says that, and then they go dance, and theirs is way better. Like infinitely better than
and then we get to a shot of Danny and Shotzi, and they're like, they're really good. They deserve to win. Yeah, they do. They really deserve to win.
They're gonna win.
But I think they deserve it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, what a happy ending. They're just like, wow, they really deserve this. They're fantastic. They're so good. I thought maybe they wouldn't win to like reinforce the idea that it's not about winning.
It should have went to the dog guy.
Yeah, it really should have. That would have been great. Like if neither of them won, it was these other people who won, the guy on the dog leash, and they're like, there, reinforce your message. It's not about winning, but no, they just win. So okay, great.
And this year's winners of the Florida statewide dance competition are Miss Jennifer and Mr. K.
Turns out her dad did come and his mom came, and now they're getting back together because this movie's just like all the happy endings, I guess. Like whatever. And then I love this. They bring, as he gets the trophy, they bring old Hal Sanders. They wheel him out on stage.
Please put your hands together for the one and only, the incredible Hal Sanders.
Thank you very much.
to get his
Oh,
recognition.
you mean the bowling trophy?
Yes. Definitely is a bowling trophy. Oh, they bring him out on stage, and he brings him out, and he goes, and everybody knows who he is. Everybody's like losing their mind over Hal Sanders. They're like, woo! And he goes, and Ken goes, thanks, Pops. And Hal Sanders says to him, you're welcome, son.
You're the best. Thank you, Pops.
You're welcome, son.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention Ken's an orphan.
Oh, and then it circle zooms into the locket on their faces, and then the credits roll, and it's glorious. Kyle, I fucking love this movie. This movie is good bad.
It is good bad.
Holy
it is good bad.
shit.
You will not be bored throughout this entire film.
No, it's an hour 30. Luckily, it's short, but it's also just nonsense the whole time. There's a dance scene every 10 minutes, and they're all ridiculous. There's fucking the captain popping locking out of every scene, and then there's angry rage. I want to watch this again already. And I agree, this movie is magic. Elvis Aggie from Review Beat.
Dancing is my life. You don't know a single thing about dancing.
Oh, no?
As always, you can support us on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/GBorBB, I believe.
Yes.
And support us for $2, $5, or whatever, how much money you want a month. You get access to our podcast. You get access to our Broken Dreams series. You get access to all kinds of good stuff. And early access when we release get the edits done early, all that kind of stuff, which is fun. And it helps support the show, which is what allowed us to buy these new cameras.
Yes, and they look beautiful.
They do look beautiful. Real quick, speaking of the new cameras, somebody mentioned, and I said this, I put a pinned the comment on the video. They are 4K cameras. We're still editing and rendering the show in 1080 just for the sake, because there's no need to render it in 4K.
And you can tell a significant difference between them. The contrast is a lot more forgiving. The lenses are a lot sharper.
Yeah, and so the reason we're shooting in 4K is that gives, so now if you noticed when I zoom in post or when we're editing and you zoom in, we don't lose the clarity. You can zoom up 100% or
you won't have situations where I accidentally bump the lens and it's like, I guess I could potentially still do that.
You could technically. But we also have a lot of greater depth of field, so we're more in focus the whole time because our old cameras moved a little bit.
Baby Yoda. Or not Baby Yoda. No, regular Yoda.
Yeah.
We'll get Baby Yoda eventually.
Katie has a Baby Yoda, but it's in another room. So yeah, that's with the new cameras, but the episodes are still in 1080. They're not going to be in 4K, at least not for the foreseeable future, because the render time and stuff is no thank you. I have a podcast called This Film Will Say, where we're talking about movies that are based on books. When this is out, God knows what, we're doing Howl's Moving Castle at some point, so that might be out-ish around the time. Eventually. It is a book, yeah. I didn't know. But there are other stuff after that. So Kyle, you got anything going on? Kyle streams!
Yeah.
On Twitch.com.
Yes.
Twitch.tv.
Yeah, that's about it. That's all that's going on in my life.
I thought I had something else I wanted to say, now I can't. Nope. The end.